Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. My name is Nancy Wallace-Laabs, and I'm going to be your host tonight on this Foreclosures Daily webinar. And Foreclosures Daily is the company that is connecting buyers with motivated sellers since 2004. And we're very excited to be a part of their family. And then as soon as I figure out, there we go. All right, let's go back one. All right, so who is ForeclosuresDaily.com? So they're a nationwide lead provider. They provide leads to investors, realtors, attorneys, and just your basic first-time buyer. Foreclosures Daily has been in business since 2004, and since then, they have been the internet's #1 destination for the most detailed and timely information. Now, who am I? Nancy Wallace-Laabs. So I have been a real estate investor since 2006. I'm located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texas broker, former property manager, been on the national speaker and a best-selling author of Winning Deals and Heels. So my daughter and I founded a company called Money Makin Mamas and the Millionaire Mama Method, which is to enable busy moms to contribute to their household income without sacrificing family time by investing in real estate. I have been a client personally of Foreclosures Daily since 2018, and some of my very best investment deals have come from the leads generated by ForeclosuresDaily.com. My students and that we mentor love these leads and find them easy to get deals. And out of all the list companies out there, Foreclosures Daily has the best and cleanest leads around. So if you have any questions about that, you can always reach me at Nancy@ForeclosuresDaily.com. And you can do a follow at Money_Makin, no G, Mamas on Instagram. Now, let's talk about ForeclosuresDaily.com and how they are a different lead source for you. So there's always real estate attached, and I can attest that I've used other companies before I got involved with ForeclosuresDaily.com, and they had leads, but there was no real estate. You can have the leads delivered daily, weekly, or monthly. Property appraisers, information on most data types. Most companies that we have found are quarterly or not farmed for real estate, as I have said before. And ForeclosuresDaily.com, they understand the importance of having fresh data that is farmed for real estate. So here are the types of leads that you can get. I'm going to talk about what they all are and then which ones I use. So you have probates, pre-probates, absentee owners, divorce, distressed, code violations, evictions, inheritance, auctions, tax late properties, list pendants properties, and cash buyers. Now, the one that I focus on the most is pre-probate. These have been just a gem in terms of the types of deals that I have been able to get and how to work those leads. Now, the cool thing about ForeclosureDaily.com, they don't just sell you the list, right? They're going to help you with the marketing. So your representative is going to talk to you about some of the bonus with the direct mail that you're going to want to utilize when you have leads from ForeclosuresDaily.com. So this is just some of the postcards, and I can tell you I've done some really good deals with this postcard right here. But you can see how they have a picture of the property. And they're not anything fancy, but that's okay, because depending on your style. So these are cost effective, easy, it's easy breezy to get your message out and to start marketing to the leads. Now, they also have, direct mail also provides handwritten letters. So Carolyn and I were talking about, I have someone that writes, in the past, I've used other people to handwrite. And if you've ever done that before, it takes a lot of time. So it's nice to have a company that has this very nice font, looks like it's handwritten, and it gives it much more personalized approach. Now, you can also kind of step it up here and have a little bit more fancier look, a more professional look, I should say. Marketing by hand, and you want to mention ForeclosuresDaily.com to get a discount with them. But you can see how nice this is, nice marketing touch, because the bottom line is, if you're doing direct mail marketing, which is very, very effective with all these leads, you want the letter, the card to be read, to be opened, and to the seller to actually respond by giving you a ring. Now, you're also going to receive a copy of Kevin's sales book, Probate Real Estate Sales 101. So I want to show you this, guys. Okay, this is my book that I got, and what was written when I got it in 2018 is still relevant today. It's the same type of marketing techniques that you're going to utilize, and this is for real estate agents and investors. And not only that, you'll have access to webinars by Kevin himself. So you'll be able to get firsthand knowledge of how to utilize his book. So that's a really great thing. Now, I'm going to take a minute here, and I'm going to bring on Carolyn, our guest speaker. So Carolyn, get ready here. And like I said, I had the privilege of talking to Carolyn earlier today, just about how I use ForeclosuresDaily.com and how she uses it. So we're actually going to get together later, because I'm in Texas and she's in Florida. So Carolyn tonight is going to talk to us about, she sold 25 properties with probate leads. She is your probate, Carolynn Castillo is your probate property angel, and she's going to tell us the story. Yes, thank you. She has over 23 years of experience as a licensed realtor, and is committed to alleviating the burdens of probate from executors. She is a trusted partner in navigating probate real estate. She is a top performer at eXp Realty, and she brings invaluable knowledge and expertise to her clients, and just the short amount of conversation that I had with her earlier today. Carolyn has been featured on major networks such as Fox, NBC, and ABC through American Dream TV, and is dedicated to sharing her insights with others in the industry. Welcome, Carolyn. How are you?
That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you. So tell us, how long you've been doing this, and how did you get connected with ForeclosuresDaily.com, and, just give us your story.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, very similar. The same way that you found Foreclosures Daily is the same way that I did. So I was also with all the leads, and we all know the story with that. We don't need all the leads. We need the leads with real estate. That's what we need. So like you, I've been with Foreclosures Daily. I'm not sure if it was 2020 or 2021, but it's been quite some time. We're now working in multiple counties in the state of Florida. So obviously the leads have been amazing, because we keep coming back and they're our number one lead provider. So a little bit about me is I started real estate when I was 18 years old. I am a high school dropout. Not everybody knows that. And I did, as soon as I turned 18, I got my real estate license. And it's been, a romance ever since. And I started in real estate, always being a listing agent. So that was advice that was given to me very early on. And when I first started, I would do listings for rentals. So I was calling landlords. At the time, I didn't realize, I was working with investors. I didn't even get that back then. I was just happy to get the 1 month commission, when I was 18 years old. And so very early on, I realized, just being in that position of authority where people are coming to you, where you're representing the property. And then my journey continued into regular cold calling sales, and pretty much been doing traditional real estate for many, many, many years. And then in around like 2017, 18, 19, I just started kind of getting a taste that traditional real estate wasn't doing it for me anymore. I was just bored. And I just wasn't getting, anything from it. Yeah, I was getting money, but we all know as time goes, like money comes and goes, and, you really got to feel fulfilled and feel like you're doing something. And so I started actually working with investors, and I liked working with them because it was all about the money. It was all about numbers. So I would just find them a deal, they would buy it, then they would fix it up, and I'd put it on the market and sell it. And I'm like, wow, I like this. You know, there's no emotions, there's no, I don't want to sell anymore, or my wife doesn't, think this is a good idea. It was just work doing business. And so I loved it. And then that led me to probate, because what investors do a lot of probate, right? Because probates need work. And so I got on my first probate deal. It was a complete train wreck. Like, most people that came in contact with that type of deal would have ran for the hills and said, I'm never doing that again. But it took a hold of my heart, and I just started digging into it more and more and more. And I'll have to tell Angela, my rep at Foreclosures Daily, to update the little bio that she has of me. Because I can proudly say I have closed over 100 probate real estate transactions, and counting. There's more than that, but we've come a far way in doing probates. And it was in probably, it was a transition, because you don't just go from black to white doing all probate. So it was probably about around like 2021 that basically we just focused 100% on probate leads. So now our business is running in multiple counties in the state of Florida, and we're only working probate business. So tonight, the exciting thing is that I'm going to share my cold calling script. So unlike you, Nancy, which we were having a good conversation, I was like, okay, I got to check out these mailers. But I do no marketing. So I do no mailers, I do nothing, no marketing whatsoever. It's just straight cold calling. And I have a background in cold calling. I was actually today training a new agent on how to cold call. And she's actually going to be doing just straight circle prospecting, like just cold calling, which is what I was very successful at. So you're literally just ring, ring. Oh, hey, I was calling to find out if you might be thinking about selling your house. Like, there's no reason that you're calling. There's not a probate, a foreclosure, a for sale by owner. It's a true cold call. And that's how I got all my listings from my traditional real estate for years and years. And then of course it turns into referrals after time. But that's my success, and it's so easy for people to get into. It doesn't require a lot of money, it doesn't require a lot of research, it doesn't require much of anything. You get a list, you pick up the phone, you make a call, and you book a deal. And that's how simple it is. So tonight, I hope that I can empower some of you that are listening to this call tonight. Maybe you've had call reluctancy where you're just so scared of the phone. My script is bulletproof. You're getting a script that has been tried and true, literally years of cold calling, and I tweak it. This is not, a Tom Ferry script. This is not, Joe Blow. This is Carolynn Castillo's probate script. Okay, I created it. It's mine, and I'm sharing it with the world. Before we jump into the training, what I want to share is, probate honestly has changed my life, changed my family's life. It's changed my team's life. And when you start to work in it day in and day out, it just gives you a different perspective of life, because you're sitting at the table of families that just have somebody pass away. Now, sure, do we sell a lot of grandma houses? Absolutely. That's when death is expected, right? But I also sit at a table where there's a 18-year-old and a 20-year-old that mom went away to just get a check at the hospital and never came back home, right? So you have everything in between there. And when you're sitting so close to how easy life can be taken away, and how it makes you appreciate the daily life, and it just has given me a purpose of really sharing it with other realtors specifically, because that's obviously what I do, but also the community, because death is 100% guaranteed, guys. Guess what? Every single one of us is gonna die, okay? It is a thing, right? So why don't we talk about it more? Why aren't our families talking about it more? Why are we not preparing more for this that is inevitable that all of us are going to experience? When I go out networking and I'm meeting with people and they say, "Oh, what do you do?" And I say, "Probate real estate." They're like, "Probate? What is that?" Probate went to, "Oh yeah, my grandma had to go through probate," So it's so funny that it's happening all around us in all of our communities, guys. So, like, think about it. Like, no matter where you are in the world or in the globe, it is literally happening everywhere. And as long as we're still here, we're not living on Mars yet, even though Elon Musk has plans for us to leave this planet. Okay. But so far on this planet, we all live in houses. Okay. And your American dream, or what everybody strives for, is to have your home, paid off, so that when you get old, you can just retire and you don't have to worry about your bills and all the things. So 100% of the time when people die, most people have real estate. And when a family inherits that real estate, guess what that family has? They have their own house. They have their own life. Okay. They do not want to inherit that piece of real estate. And so by you becoming the neighborhood expert in real estate, right? When you start picking up that title and then people know you for that in your churches, in your community groups, right? Then you can become an advocate for the community. That, guys, you don't want to end up what I deal with on a daily basis. I'm working with people in probate that didn't prepare, that didn't do the right things, right? So now we've got to go through this whole big process. Why don't we take it upon ourselves and educate our communities, educate our families, and help people to not be scared of this thing, right? It's going to happen. We're all going to die. Okay. And I know when I pass away, I want my sons, I want my family to get everything that I've worked hard from. Okay. And if I can help the community do that, to me, this is what has been so rewarding now in my career. And it's not just me, I have an entire team. Before I start the training, I'm actually going to share with you what we're doing tonight. Nancy, am I good to take it away?
Yes, you are. Take it away, Carolyn.
Okay. All right. So we're going to dive in. I'm going to share my screen. So we're going to do the cold calling training right now. And this is also meant to be interactive. So I believe that there is a Q&A going on here. So if you guys want to pop your questions in, and Nancy said she's going to be the DJ serving up the questions there. Okay. The first thing I want to share with you guys is I want to invite you to all become a member of my community. So this is a free community for people that want to learn how to work probate real estate. We do have investors in there. We do have wholesalers in there. I predominantly come from a realtor background, so I have a lot of specialties that I can help in that department. But me and my husband also buy these houses too. Like everybody knows, probate houses, they are cash sales all day long, right? But join the community. This is a little QR code right here, so you can go ahead and scan in. When you scan it, it's going to take you to join the membership, okay? If you haven't grabbed it, that's okay. I'll show it before we go. Let me show you where we're going to be. So this is our school community right here. Now, typically we get together every other Tuesday night and we do a live talk about probate deals and stuff like that. Today we're doing it here instead of over there. But there's a classroom in here. And in this classroom, I give everybody access to my free cold calling script training. That's right. It's free, 100% free. Okay. So tonight we're going to actually go into this script and I'm going to explain it to you live. But you can go in here and there's actually 5 or 6 videos that actually give you like exactly the way that I train my team is now in the digital form, and I never have to train anybody again. Woohoo! Okay, so you guys will enjoy that. So we're gonna jump in to the script. Can you see my script, Nancy?
Yes.
That where it says probate? Okay, cool. So this is it. This is the $1 million, multi-million dollar script right here. Okay. Like Nancy and I were speaking earlier, she does pre-probates, which pre-probate, she was saying, can be tough with making the calls sometimes. But with probates, they're not tough, because if somebody is on a probate list, that means they've already hired an attorney. Now, you can do a probate on your own, right? So technically you could file your own probate case, but I would say 99% of people hire an attorney, okay? So they've already, the person has passed away. They've already done the funeral. They've already had some type of grieving or mourning that's taken place. They've gotten themselves together. They've went and had a consultation with an attorney. They've then hired the attorney, paid dollars. Attorneys don't work like realtors. I don't know why. We should start charging up front. Anyways, they paid the attorney thousands of dollars, and now the attorney files the probate. Now you're getting the lead. This lead is not emotional. This lead does not need to be consulted by you. You do not need to discuss the death with the person that you're on the phone with. This person is ready for business. They're ready to manage and administer their loved one's estate. Okay. So the first part of the script, super simple. Hello, I was hoping to speak with, and we are wanting to talk with the personal representative. We are going directly to the personal representative. You have that information. When you get the leads from Angela, it literally has their personal representative. It has their address, okay? They say, and you say, hello, my name is Carolyn. Hello, Jim. My name is Carolyn. I was contacting you regarding the pending probate case you have in Broward County, whatever county you're in. Pause. I don't go forward. So just in those 2 sentences, what's happening there, right? Am I giving any fluff? Am I saying, oh, I hope you're having a good day? Am I saying, I'm so sorry for your loss, sir, I'm calling about? I'm not saying any of that, guys. I'm saying very nice and professional. I'm saying, hello, I was hoping to speak with Bob. It's like this. Hey, Bob, this is Carolyn. I was contacting you regarding the pending probate case you have in Broward County. You better not say nothing. And they're like, okay. Like they're like, they almost think you're the, the county office or something, right? They're just like, they know. They're like, wait, there is a pending probate case. The person knows my name. Okay, yes, sir. I was calling to find out if the family might be considering selling the property in the estate on Blueberry Street. I'm going straight in, guys. Like I'm reaching in and I'm pulling out. Okay. There's no fluff. There's no in between words. The biggest thing I have to work on with people in this script is to shut up. Stop talking so much. Okay. Like less is more, please. Okay. So I've had people that have literally said it's been the hardest thing for me to just stick to this script. But when I have, it's like I have a key and I've just opened a door and it's just like, it just works. And I'm like, I know. That's why I use it. Okay. So you have to, at first, it makes some people feel uncomfortable because it's so direct. It's just boom, 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 boom. But I have found that people appreciate it. It's a cold call. You don't got time to dilly-dally with me on the phone, okay? I'm going to tell you why I'm calling. I want to speak to Bob. I'm calling about your probate case, and I want to know if you want to sell your house. That's it. And guess what, guys? It's a simple question. It's yes, no, or I'm unsure. That's it. We're not, arguing with for sale by owners here. We're not, arguing with expired listings. I could do it better. I can do it better. No, you've inherited a property. I have the address. Is your family thinking about selling? Yes, no, or maybe. That's it. Based off of what they say from there. Now, most people off rip, it's a cold call, right? Is this my friend? Absolutely not. It's a cold call. So I tell people all the time is if you right now, you go to the beach and it's like 150 degrees outside and you're pouring with sweat, okay? And then somebody comes and says, here's a free water bottle. Would you like a free water bottle? They'll be like, no, I'm good. You're good? Okay, I'm sure you're good, right? There's a reaction that there always is, no, I don't need help. When you walk into a store and the lady says, oh, can I help you? I'm specifically going there to buy a blouse that is specifically like this. And if I could just tell the lady, she would take me right to the blouse. But when we walk in, instead we say, no, I'm good, right? Why do we do that? I don't know why. It's human nature. So what I teach people is that initially you'll get the no's, right? So people say, are you thinking about selling the house? No. So what do? We follow it up with a second question. Just because they say no, I'm not just going to back out then, right? So they say, no, we're not going to sell the house. Okay. Do you have any plans on selling down the road once the probate case is completed? What do you think they say, guys? Oh, yeah, we're thinking about it once the case is completed. Yeah, we'll probably do it once everything's completed. Yeah, probably that's what's going to end up happening, right? So we hit them with that second dig for that information. They come back and if they say no 2 times to me, so are you thinking about selling? No. Do you have plans on selling down the road once the probate case is completed? No, absolutely not. We're not selling ever. Okay, awesome. Thank you for taking our call. No big deal. Everybody's not going to sell their house, right? Cool. On to the next one. I'm not following up with them. I'm done. I take them off my list and I move on. Okay. Now, what if the people say yes, or they say maybe? I treat maybes as yeses. Okay. Treat a maybe as a yes. This is also very hard for people to understand. When somebody passes away and they inherit the property and there's 5 people that they've inherited the house with, do you think the one person on the cold call with me is going to be able to firmly make the decision for the whole family? No way. Not even the tightest knit families will be able to say 100%, right? So most of them are going to say, well, most likely, probably, I'm not exactly sure. We're still trying to figure things out. Agree with them. Perfect. Most people aren't sure of what they're going to do. The reason for my call is to introduce our company. We're a real estate company that specializes in selling property that goes through the probate process. I know you're not thinking about it now, but when you guys go to sell, are you looking for a cash offer or are you planning to list it on the market? So I'm going for it, right? They're going to tell me, oh, well, we would definitely do a cash offer. Oh, definitely do a cash. All of a sudden they're using definites, all of a sudden they're 100%. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be listing it. My daughter's friend is a realtor. We're going to list the house, like let them get a few questions in for them to tell you what's really going on, for what's really happening. They're never going to tell you in those first 3 sentences, right? So then from there, you proceed. Okay, great. We can help you out with both options. And I encourage, even if, you're an investor or if you're a realtor. So like if you're an investor and you're hitting these leads, you should have a relationship with a realtor. And if you're a realtor and you're hitting these leads, you should have a relationship with an investor. Because think about it, guys, you want to get the deal no matter what they decide to do. So if they're going to sell the house and you give them the cash offer and it's too low, the family doesn't agree or whatever the case, then what are they going to do? They're going to list the property for sale. Okay. And if you're talking about listing the property and they're like, no, it's too emotional, it's too much, I don't want to deal with this at all. What are they going to do? They're going to go to the cash offer. Position yourself that you can do both options, and that's how you're going to get the whole market. Okay. Now, I confirm with them, very light information. Now, this is my way. Like, I'm telling you exactly how I do it. Throughout the years, I've altered this, and this is like Carolynn, like direct. But you can go deeper at the beginning. People are more chatty. Me, I just got it very organized. But what I'm doing now is I just I confirm their address. Just to confirm, I have your address as XYZ. It looks like my records indicates a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Is that correct? Are you aware of any repairs or any updates? Okay, perfect. Thank you for the information. What I'm going to do is set up a free phone consultation for you to speak with my team. Anyways, you can alter that. They can provide you with both a cash offer or listing on the market value, and we'll also give you a breakdown of what the family will net after the sale. Book the appointment. Okay. At the beginning, when I first started, I would have a more in-depth conversation with them on the phone. And then I would book an in-person, like a listing appointment. Because remember, I was transitioning from traditional real estate. So we didn't do phone consultations. We didn't do deals over the phone. We went and sat at kitchen tables. That's where we did the listing appointment. That's where we did the deal. So it took me a while to transition. But what I ended up realizing is that it's actually not about the house. As crazy as that sounds, it's actually not even about the house. When I get on these appointments, it's about the situation, the beneficiaries. Is everyone getting along? How's it going with the probate attorney? Who's taking care of the house? Has the mortgage been paid off? Like, it's all more about more of a case diagnostic, right? And then from there, if they're in like a 0 to 30-day window of being able to get it going, then I will book the property tour and we'll go out and tour the property. We'll see what needs to be done or what the situation is. And then we will present either the cash offer or the listing contract at that point, but for me, this has been, a game changer. Like today I had 2 consultations. One family, they inherited the property in Florida. And the 2 brothers, one lives in West Virginia, one lives in, Texas or something like that. Like, they're not here. So even if you wanted to go meet with someone in person, you can't because they're not here. So when you start transitioning yourself to just having these consultations on the phone, it also helps with not having to drive around all the time, people not showing up, because we've all been there. If you've been in real estate long enough, you showed up to an appointment and there's no cars in the driveway. Okay. So, it just really streamlines it, and then it makes it more consultative. And then you just kind of go out on those leads that are ready to do business with you. So in a quick nutshell, there's the script. Okay. So I don't know if this would be a good time, Nancy, to open it up if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, we have a couple of comments here, Carolyn. That's great.
Okay.
And, I just have to comment, I work a lot with the pre-probate, and I do similar where, because it's about the situation and relationship and that kind of thing. So I find that I'm not driving around. I'm getting the properties under contract a lot of times before I, even see it. So, all right. So here's Teresa, an anonymous person. Both of them kind of have the same. Do your personal representatives who get angry? So, when you make this call, are you getting yelled at with this script? Somebody said that they get yelled at a few times from their direct mail. And not sure if it's the same here, but in real time.
Okay. No, I mean, you guys, I mean, cold calling in general, people are gonna, you know, I mean, what are you gonna do? Even if you're cold calling people that are not on probate list, right? I was actually, like I said, today I was training with a girl doing regular cold calling in the neighborhood. It was so funny because it's not probate at all. It's just cold calling. And the lady answers the phone and she was like, "My husband just died. You think I'm selling my house? Don't ever call me again." Click. And I'm like, what am I, a probate magnet? Like, so I just think that you can't let a couple Karens, get you down. When you see the lives that get changed by the work that you do, you don't care about those people because you know what you're doing. For me as a realtor, I take a lot of pride in giving the personal representative, the executors, the true value of the property. I know sometimes that goes against, my investor world, but that's just something that I do. I've sat at tables where the lady told me she wants a cash offer for 150,000, that's what she wants. And when I did the market, I did the comps as is, it was 300 all day. Right. So Carolyn, the angel, okay, the opportunity to lock it up, right? Or tell the lady the information, ma'am, I would be happy to give you a cash offer for 150,000. I want you to be aware your property is worth 300,000. I can put it on the market, I can list it. This would be my commission. This is what I would do, and I take care of everything for you. Which one do you rather? I just changed that woman's life, right? So when you start seeing what you do, then you don't worry about it. And even when I did regular cold calls, not probate, in my office behind me, I had my whole entire wall filled of my closing picture. So it was me like with the sold sign. And then I had the listing of the house that I sold. I put their picture with the listing. I laminated it and I hung it all over my office. And the reason I did that was to remind myself that cold calling works.
Very
So
good.
every time I would get somebody kick me in the face or someone tell me, "Get a real job, lady," or all the things that they'll say to you, I would look over and say, that was a cold call, that was a cold call, that was a cold call, that was a cold call. And those people all appreciated what I did. And those calls, people will tell you all the time, "I never answer my phone. I don't even know how I got on the phone with you today." And I believe it's a divine in some cases. I believe that, it just happens that way. And so when you really get like a passion for it, those people won't impact you.
Yes, I love that story. So, all right. So a couple more questions. So one, does the list have telephone numbers? So the probate list that you're getting, how do you get the phone numbers is what they're
You have
asking.
to skip trace. Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
have
what
to,
do you run them through a program to get the phone numbers then?
you do. Yeah,
Okay,
you do.
okay. And then another question from Felicia. She says, does Mojo include Zillow? Mojo is the calling system. Include Zillow to see the property while on the caller. Sometimes
Yes.
I can't see the property.
Yes.
So she's asking if it merges together. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're calling the
Yeah.
person, okay, so.
Yeah.
And
Because
is that what
you'll,
are you
I
using
use
Mojo?
Mojo.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
do
like
use
Mojo.
Mojo.
It's easy to use, so.
Very easy to use. I've used it for years and years and years. But when you upload any list that you have, whatever address is there, it's going to connect it to the Zillow button and the Google Maps. So as soon as the person picks up, you click on Zillow and you know what's happening.
Yes, so someone else, Kay says, she's a realtor. I have tried probate in the past via mailers, and so often the families are angry. Do you not recommend mailing and only calling? And how many times do you call them?
Okay. Well, clearly mailers work because Nancy's the testimony of that. Okay. I can't speak of it personally because I haven't done like enough mailers to really say yay or nay. I know that I did do a mailing campaign like one time and I did get a listing from it. So, hey, and that was like a one shot, but yeah, I can't speak too much of that, but the calling, my motto is just keep calling, period. Right. So you can pop somebody from day one. You get your leads, you make a call for 20 minutes, boom, you get an appointment, and there's some weeks where you call all week and you got nothing, absolutely nothing, so calling is just like that. Think about it. If somebody called me right now, am I going to pick up? No, I'm on with you guys, like think about it, guys. So just because somebody doesn't pick up doesn't mean that they're avoiding you, so I try to hit the new guys at least 5 times the first week. And then after that, you're just kind of in like this never ending rotation with me until you either tell me to take a hike or I talk to you. One of the two
Yes.
things happens.
Yeah, and then also, I'm just gonna throw, because I used to manage call centers, and you can't call at 2 p.m. every day because people are busy or what, or so there is a science behind when to call, like, so dinner time is not the ideal time to call people. So okay, so Lionel asked, do you ever have to deal with the probate attorneys for the family prior to closing the deal? If so, is this challenging?
Probate attorneys are challenging. Yes. I pretty much don't make contact with them until I have already got a contract, until I have a buyer. Because there's really nothing that the probate attorney is going to do up until that point. Where you get into a pickle with probate attorneys, sometimes it just depends, but some probate attorneys, like we had an appointment last week where we had the consultation. The guy's like, I'm ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. And then we were going to the property tour. And then he calls me and says, oh, my attorney says I can't go to the tour. I can't meet you at the property. And I was like, okay. And then, so I get on the phone with the attorney and he's like, oh, he does not have executor rights to do anything, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I understand that, ma'am. But what we're doing is we're just in consultation phase. So we're literally just taking a look at the property. We're advising them on how much it's worth. We're letting them know what you need to prepare the property for sale. The thing about probate attorneys is that they're disconnected from reality. They're disconnected from what's happening on the ground, right? So they have their paperwork processes and they have like, this needs to be filed, that needs to be filed. But on the ground, right? Somebody has to be looking after the house. Somebody has to be paying the utility bills. Somebody has to be going by and getting the mail. Somebody has to, all this is all happening, right? So to throw that onto a beneficiary that I mean, this is all day long. I have a seller that's like, I've been paying his bills for 4 months now. It adds up. Okay. You think that people are supposed to get an inheritance, but yet in order to get that inheritance, you've got to now keep up your deceased person's bills, pay their utility bills, pay all those things. That's why probate houses end up becoming so distressed because they can't keep up with it. So they let it go. And a house with no air conditioning, no water, things happen. Rodents come in, pipes dry up, and next thing you know, you've got an unsellable house. So I'm really big on advocating for this. And I believe at some point, we're going to make some type of huge change that probate attorneys and real estate professionals are going to be able to get on the same page with each other, on the same timelines with each other. Because by the time you file the 90-day creditor period, I know people are here from all over, the world, but in most cases, there's a creditor period, there's a timeline where if people are coming to claim on the asset, that asset can't be sold, or there's some type of seasoning process, right? So with real estate, we like to work along that same timeline. So by the time I meet with the family, we do a property tour, we get the house ready. When somebody dies, whose house is ready? I always say that. If I were to die today, someone has to go home and do my laundry. You know what I mean? My house is not ready to be sold. So we have to get the house ready. Then we've got to take the photo shoot. Then we got to go to the market. We are not in 2021 anymore, guys. Houses are not selling in minutes. Okay. So
Yep.
it literally takes sometimes in some cases more than 60 days to sell a house. Right? So my thing is, let's start the process. Let me work alongside the probate attorney. And a lot of times we end up pretty much right when he's finished, we've got our closing. And then guess what? My client gets to close on probate. They get to get their money and they get to move on. And that's what people in probate want. They just want it over with and they want to have it managed properly. So it's a process with these probate attorneys.
So Carolyn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take back the screen for a minute and go through. We do have a few other questions. So can you hang tight? I got to go over some things here and then we'll come back.
Yes, and I have something I want to share as well about.
Okay, so let's do that. I have some questions, but let's hang tight because we want to respect people's time. So
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and talk more about now ForeclosuresDaily.com. And so one of the questions was, are we talking probate or pre-probate? So I think Carolyn, you kind of deal with probate and I do pre-probate. And those are just one of many lists that they have, right? So, but you also get bonuses when you sign up with, so ForeclosuresDaily.com, what I love about them is they're not just a lead list. It's almost like, you know, your representative is going to help you with the marketing, but you get the 6-step mailing campaign, you get a 6-touch campaign, you get phone scripts, you get an email to send to the attorney, like Carolyn was talking about, postcards and letters, probate book mailed directly to you, a special link to receive reduced mail rates, a special link to receive reduced rates to skip tracing rates, webinar training on unique marketing techniques, webinar on the 7 ways to make money with probates with the author who wrote the book, which, as I was talking about, was Kevin Sales. And the thing with Caroline and I both, we kind of focus on just one of many of the lists that Foreclosures Daily provides. So you guys, you just can't go wrong here. So they got a BOGO, so it's a BOGO, so I had a BOGO sale. So probates, pre-probates, inheritance, divorce code, violations, evictions, each list. So you can spend, you know, $600 for 12 weeks for one county, and then you can add on another one for 50%. But I've highlighted here where you're really going to get the most bang for your buck. So, and this is where you get the BOGO. So $999 for 26, that's 6 months. That's almost a $200 savings. Or if you go for 52 weeks, $1,750, and you're going to be saving by adding on $646. And then if you're in Florida, okay, because they're in Florida, $479 for 3 months, and this is for foreclosures now. $799 for 6 months. That's that 26 weeks, and that's $159 savings. Or you can go for a year for $1,299 for 1 year, and that's a $617 savings. And then there's a la carte. You know, you can add on, you know, absentee list, a free and clear, tax lates, you know, and you're going to be spending $1,000 for 500 leads. And I can tell you, the more you buy, the more leads you're having. And when, isn't this right, Caroline? Like Mojo, you can't just load, I mean, you can load 50, but my experience with Mojo, the calling system that you use, is if you kind of load it up, it works better when it has more leads in it, right? So if you really want to do the cold calling. So yes, so when you spend more, you get more, but you're going to make more.
Share, I'm really excited about this. Is we are now going to be offering probate training classes once a month. So the first one will be October 1st, and we're just going to keep doing them. It's, you know, one person shows up or 20 people show up or 100 and everybody in between. I really want to educate people on the importance of building this out in your communities. You'll have 3 hours with me. My hair is longer, guys, just so you know, in that picture, but it was a good picture. So we are gonna spend 3 hours together, and I'm gonna give you how to make the calls, how to buy the leads, what are you gonna say, how do you do the phone consultation, what do you do at the property tour, how do you take on the listing, what are the most common problems and solutions. The really beautiful thing about this is that this is all tried and true. I'm still in production, guys. So I'm not a retired guru, okay? I am still in production. I'm in the streets with you guys. So this little QR code will take you to Eventbrite, and you can sign up there. It's $300, not expensive, guys. And it's a 3-hour master class. You will walk away and be able to hit the phones and be able to navigate your way through the intricacies of probate. You'll have already seen me. I didn't get that opportunity. I just brick by brick, like figured case by case out. But after doing so many of them, you start to find the similarities. And so I can make your guys' life so easy by pointing these things out to you, and you can hit the ground running. So I would love to see you there. And as always, in the other one, the school group, we will be there. That's where I can answer your questions when things are because before, what was happening is I have people that are hitting me up on YouTube, and then people hitting me up on Instagram, people emailing or calling, and I miss a lot of people. Okay, that's the honest truth. And so I don't want to miss you. So just channel all of your questions, anything there. And there's other people in the group that are doing probate real estate. So it's pretty cool. We're all talking about the same things. It has my free course of how to get on the phones. And that's the best way to really connect with me. I am on YouTube and I am on Instagram. But like I said, mostly you can get me like typing back to you. You have a situation, I literally get on there and be like, do this, do that, do this, do that. So that's like the best place to find me and get me. Okay. Do we want to just finish off the questions, Nancy?
Yeah, so one, Hope asked, can you get, they're talking, I guess, about your course that you just talked about. Can you get a replay, or is there another class? I will be in Greece that day. So if she signs up for your, I know, if she signs up for your October 1 and, pays the $300, will she get a replay to that, or is it a live?
I would prefer to have you in person, and I would say pick it up in November, because
Okay.
I was deciding on that, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it once a month because everybody's schedules are different, and it's just, I want to get the word out. I want the communities to understand this and know what a valuable service. The real estate market is shifting and it's changing right now, and you have to be essential. If you are not an essential worker in real estate, you're gonna have a tough time. And real estate and probate is recession proof. Guess what? No matter if it's the good times or the bad times, you gotta go. Okay. When your bus comes to pick you up, you're going, and you gotta sell your house. Your family's not gonna keep it. And those are the best kind of sellers that you want, because they're motivated, right? They have their own house, they have their own situation, and even they get $10,000. That's a bonus. That's not coming from their hard-earned work. That's an inheritance. So these are the type of sellers that you want to be positioned with to take it on, and who knows? Like, I know a lot of people that went through 2008, 2009, and they rode it through with foreclosures and short sales. Distressed real estate will always be a thing. All the leads that they provide here at Foreclosures Daily, in my opinion, I love all of them. Like I have done plenty of foreclosure deals. I subscribe to eviction leads. I like them, I like, hey, you're kicking your tenant out. What are you thinking? You want to sell this baby or what, And a lot of times the landlord's like, yeah, I want to sell it,
Yeah, I
Perfect.
think that's the thing. And then you can become kind of an expert, because what you'll find in the probate field, this is how I feel about it. I think that, we talked about this. It takes a little bit of finesse and extra training. And if you're willing to do that, what you'll find is it's a less competitive field. It's not that, there's going to be other people out there doing it, but it's probably less competitive than, say, the foreclosure list. Because when people go through real estate investing training, they're usually said, okay, go to the foreclosure list, right? Which is a good list as well. But if you can learn the skills, to do, to be quiet, to listen, then you're going to make a huge difference. And that's what I like about it too. I like that component of helping, it's a real, like you said, everybody dies. Everybody's going to have this problem. And if you can become that solution, you're going to be, it's going to be gold. It's really going to be gold. So one more question, we're going to wrap it up here. Yes, there is going to be a replay that will be sent out. And so you'll be able to see all the slides and things like that. So this has to do with your course. It says, can my partner attend with me? Do couples partners count as one registration for the masterclass?
I think it's one screen with two people. Me and my flamingo will be there.
All right. So, well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this. I've learned a lot myself, so I really appreciate it. Any last words that you have for our attendees tonight?
Final words. I would say, don't be scared of hard things. The hard things are what leads you to the greatest things, and the easy things, which are a lot of other pay somebody, pay to play, pay to get your name on a billboard, or all those things, it's easy and people go to it. But the hard things, which maybe is probate, pre-probates, helping families in distress, the hard things, but those hard things very few people are willing to do, and they're willing to master. And if you do it, you're going to be in a very good position.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Carolyn, for sharing tonight.